uh, and what can we do is, let me put this on full screen. Let me first of all, I would like to integrate this over there. So here, instead of a stack, I can go ahead and use a column. No, I'll do like this. We'll do, I can wrap this stack inside of a column. We're going to expand this stack, but still you may be getting this outside. Boom, boom, boom. Because I'm not really fond of this design here because of this white space left here. Okay, we will see what we do about that. Let us continue working. Let us add a color overlay to this. So I'll give this a colors, then let's start with black with opacity 0.2 for example, and for the width I'm going to give this a double dot infinity and the height as well. This basically means that this is supposed to take all of the space available, both for the height and for the width. Control save this and see the difference. It's darker now. I don't know if you guys can notice. If I change this color for something like red, maybe it's more notable. You see? Okay, so with that part out of the way, let us just 1 second. Oh, sorry. Just a second. Yes. Okay. Now, what do we want to do here is we will want to add a form, a login form. So I'll put this on full screen for now and I'll go back. We have our stack here, container defining our colors, and let me add another container. Okay, container, and for the alignment of this container I'll give alignment dot center, and again inside of this for the child I'm going to use a center widget, and for the child of the center widget I'm going to use a form. And as a child of the form I am going to use something called flexible. Oh no, can we, oh, if you want to we can just go something like column here or flex and give it children. So we have an error. Where is that problem? I can see it's telling us we have an error. We're having an error. We want to error then. Okay, give it a time. We will see when we try to run the app. Now, let us make use of final foreign key. So, working with forms is something I like more because you can validate the forms. We're going to create the key for that particular form, and the key is going to keep track of the form state. Okay. So here, where is that? Here we can just use a column, problem solve. Now, what are we going to do in here is to, inside of the form, we can define first, even before, in here, let me define the key of this form, and as we gave their foreign key, let me indent everything. So inside of this we have some column elements, and now we are going to define our text input forms. Sorry. And we have here, for the login, we're going to use the email and password. Well, and for the email, we're going to need some validation. I have some validation code here. I'll just copy that and I'll explain to you guys what's what and how things are happening. Let me just copy this widget here and I'll place that here. So here's what is passed. What do we have here? We have, let me create, to solve that error we have down below, just come above here and create something called a text, something called the text edit controller, and we're going to call this email text controller is equal to new, or just to text edit controller. And since we're here, let's create another text edit controller for our password. So the text edit controller is going to allow us to retrieve the values that are present on the input fields of a text input or form or anything that has an input to it. Okay, so we don't need this. Here we have text form field. Pay attention, now I'm not using a normal text field, it's a text form field. Okay, and here inside of the text form field, because it's what we use to insert text into the form, we have a decoration, then we have, oh, better yet, I can try to run this, show you what happens, and then explain it to you. Oops, it's very difficult to see it, but it's here. Yeah, I'll make sure it's more visible than that. It's very here at the top. So what we can do here is the following, because what made me copy here is because I wanted this validation. So I will erase the rest. I'll do one thing to make sure you guys understand what's happening, because I don't want you to feel like you're just copying something else, something you're not understanding. I'll cut this validator, and I'll come down here, I'll paste it, and I'll comment it. Then I'm going to use it here. Now, to this widget, the text form widget, let me clean everything and write so you guys. So we have here text form field, okay, because we want to have a text input, and in here we're going to give the decoration, and our input decoration. First we have the hint, what's going to be written here, and what's going to be written is email. And what else can we define in here? What else can we define in here? I can now for the login. What are we going to use? The email of the user or the user name? Okay, I think going with the email is better. So icon, let's just give this icons dot email. Then what else can we use here? We can make use of border, border circular radius, or we can do this outline input border, something like that. And okay, we have a lot of attributes that we can actually define here, and I'm just putting stuff here, but we have a lot of things that we can do. Let us see what this does. If you can see, now we have this here, so it's not very easy to view it. So what I will do here is try to wrap this on a new widget, and this can be a material widget. And now border radius of this widget, we're going to give a circular radius of 20.0 for example, and for the color let us give this colors. What's happening? Colors dot white dot with opacity 0.5, elevation of 0 because we don't want any shadows from this. And here, how can we remove this, because I don't really want any. Okay, I'll remove the border for now and try to control save this and see what happened. Better. Now what we're going to do is add a padding to this. So add padding, maybe not at 8 but something like 4. Broom, 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 broom. And to the material I'm going to add padding as well. And let's see how things are coming off. Good, I think. Let's add padding on the left. Okay, something like 12. Okay, so we are starting to have our app having some form. Now here again for our controller, we are going to use our email.text controller to get and retrieve the text from here. Let me see, I'm trying to remember how can we remove this, and I'm not quite sure of how I remove, because I want to remove this line down here. I don't really like it that much, but okay, if I do it like this, it's going to make things look strange, so let's leave it the way it is for now. And here we have our email text controller is going to retrieve the values from our input form. And here we have something very important that usually we don't have on normal text fields, which is the validator. And let me copy and paste this code because the pattern is kind of oops, I wasn't supposed to paste that inside of the creation. It has to be here. Okay, so now we have this pattern is very long and I wouldn't be able to remember this anyhow. We have the validator value. We are going to catch the value from this text field, and if the value is empty, we are going to display this message. Now if the value is empty, or if it doesn't follow this pattern, and here we are doing a regexpress. Basically we are just creating this variable of type regexpress expression, and then what are we doing is we are making sure, or we are asking if this expression inside of the if regex, which is the variable here, matches the value, or if this value follows this pattern here, because we're creating the pattern and this is the pattern. Okay, and then we are creating a variable of type regexpress, which is going to take this pattern as an attribute. And then for the if, we are going to check if this value here is going to match, or if this value which we are going to get from the input field will follow this pattern. So I hope that was not very difficult for you guys to understand. Now We are going to need to use this again to get the password. So what are we going to do here is take the padding here and just padding, just copy and paste this again. And differently here, we're going to write the validator for our own selves to make sure that we understand. Seems like there's a lot of things going on here. I hope you guys are able to keep track. Um, where what am I trying to do? Here, then we are supposed to, oh, here's what I'm supposed to write, and I'm getting confused. Okay, let's focus on this, and the controller now is going to be what? Password text controller, and here for the text we're going to write password, and for the icon here, let's try something like lock. We have here lock outline, and let us use a validator. Let us write one. We have value, which is the value we're going to get from the forum. And first we'll check if, then value dot is empty. We want to return something saying the password field cannot be empty. And then else if, let's suppose we want the password to be at least 6 characters long. Value dot length is smaller than 6. We are going to return the password has to be at least, but this is very useful for the registration, not the login. I'm just using it to show it. At least 6 characters long. I hope I didn't misspell nothing here. And there's an error there. Okay, so this is how the validator works. Let me try to do a control save on this and see how it reflects on the app. We have the password field, and we do have the email field over here. What we can do here is try to, let me go back here and try to use a color like black, because I don't really like how the red is coming off. Sounds way more better. Oh, fields, not sounds. I'll put this on 4. Yep. Mm -hmm. And I will add a top padding to this container of I want only top, and the value is going to be 16. Still not enough. Still not enough. So what can we do here? What can we do here? Let me try to remove this and come down here. Remove this. What did I do here? What did I do here? Oops, Control Z. Erase here. And I'm trying to center the forms. So I had to remove it from the container, and still it goes to the top. Okay, I'll do this using padding, no problem. I'll add a padding here of top of only top, and the padding is going to be of something like 30, only top. Control C. Not good enough. 80 pixels. What about that? Still 150. Is that high enough? 200. Okay. I think it's starting to look good actually. What else can we do here? Is adding finally a button to login. So let us come in here, copy this, and after we did the copying, paste it. Oh, we don't need this, so remove it. Clear here. Let's use something like blue to do the login. Opacity of 0.8, and for the child here, let's use a text, simple login text, and for the text align, center. Let's see what happens. That's not exactly what we want. No problem. Let us structure our a login button in a different way. We'll still use the material, of course, but here let me, for the child, instead of putting text, there's something called a material button. It has an unpressed. For now, let us just leave it like that. And apart for the unpressed, we can define some things here, like minimum width of the button, and let us use a media query here of context, of course, dot size dot width. So what is this going to do? Basically, what is this going to do is make sure we take up all of the width of the parent widget. On our case, that's the material. So we have the unpressed. Now here we'll again pass a child of text, and now we can put login as the text. Text align, we're going to do text align to the center, and let us give some styling to our text. You can use style. No, let us use the normal things like text style here. For the color, I'm going to give a basic colors.white. What else? Does the font need to be bold or not? Okay, let us give it a bold font. Font weight dot bold. What about the font size? But let us see how. Boom. And we're starting to have our design here, but that there's something I'm not enjoying very much, which is this color blue. What if we go with a red? Is it going to look any better? But since we'll then do a login with Google, I don't know how good would that be, but okay, let's leave it like that for now. How about we remove the opacity and just use red. Okay, here we have it. And I think that I don't know how long have I been talking, so maybe that's a good time to stop. And I can say that we're done with the UI. Let's just give it a font size of 22. And from the next video, I can just go ahead and work with the back end of it. Training. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like, don't forget to hit that subscribe. And finally, wait, I'm saying bye, but at the same time seems like I don't want to let you guys go. I'm just increasing the opacity here because I don't think 5 is looking good. So perfect, now it's good. Now it's good. Here, just give it a 10. For the border radius, just give it a 10 here as well. and we can leave the login like that, no problem. Okay, for the email, do we have a mail outline? That would be very handy. Oh, we don't, but let me use that at symbol. Okay. Oh, so guys, here's the UI for the login. On the next video, we're going to start putting in some work, but since we are here right now, let me copy the sign in with Google option. Here, and do, before I wrap up the video, I can take this Google sign in option. You know what, I can come here and copy the login button again, and then paste it here and do a sign in with Google. Cut this. Boom, 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 boom. Create the text here just above the heading of that button. And oops, a quick thing to do is other sign in options, login, since login is the word I'm using. Before that, let us use a divider here. Other sign in options and Google. It's perfect. Let us change this red here to blue again. And do So now what are we going to do is coming down here, I will copy the unpressed action and I will paste it here on our, let me put this on full screen to make sure you guys understand what's going on. Unpressed action, and I'll paste it here. What else can I do before I wrap up this video? Here on the icons, let me try it. Do we have a Google icon here? Oh, we don't. That would be awesome. So what's next? We have here other sign-in options, and we have Google, but this text is not visible, so I'll steal the styling from here, and I'll paste it here, and it's fine. And for the divider, colors that white as well. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Other login option, Google. Okay, it's starting to look good. Let me just come over here and make sure I remove this. And okay, I would have to rerun the app to fix that bug. And we have a small problem here with the height of the picture. And how could we fix that? Just a quick fix before we finish this part of the video. Boom, 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 boom. Where we define fix fill. Let's try to stretch this using height. See if that's going to solve our problems. Ta-da! Our problem is fixed. And what is left to do here? Boom, 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 boom. We can do something like go back to that column widget here, and let's try to push all of that stuff downwards. So for our padding here on the login, I can just create a expanded widget, and see if it's going to push our UI down. Oh no, that's not what we want. No, that's not what we want. That's definitely not what we want to do. Go back to normal. And I think I know what I can do here. Is just above this divider, can I create a container, an empty container, and in here let us create a new widget, expand it, assigning approval downwards.